How's it going, guys? I'm back, even though I've been gone for a while. Uh, yeah, as you can see, I kind of used some Pokebank since it did come out in the US around 2 days ago, and I spent most of the time from these past 2 days doing Pokebank. So yeah, this is a battle against a real life friend of mine named Daniel. He's just getting into competitive, and well, over the battles we've been having, he's been getting really much better. So yeah, without further ado, let's get this started. Yeah, okay. So this was, of course, yesterday. So this was actually battled yesterday. So uh, it's relatively still fresh in my mind. So I lead it off with a Mew, and he leads off with a Rotom. I just go ahead and set up my Stealth Rocks. I didn't know what it was gonna do. If I didn't know if it was gonna trick or it was just gonna Wisp me. I ended up Wisping. So right here I go for a Taunt. Probably knowing he's gonna go for a Wisp again, since I kind of know his playstyle. And yeah, he does go for the Wisp. He withdraws, and right here. I am gonna go for the Zen Head, but I guess he predicted a Psychic type move for going into Tyranitar, or just predicted any type move because he knew he was gonna take it pretty well because it is a Tyranitar. Those things live things pretty well. So yeah, Zen Head, but doesn't affect. I get buffeted. That Sandstorm, that Sandstream brings up. He gets left over, so I know it isn't a Mega Tyranitar. I know for certain it is a bulky lead T-Tar, even though it wasn't a lead. But yeah. So I just go out into my Gastrodon knowing that he was either going to go for a Crunch or a Stone Edge, because I can relatively take those hits well, even though I am more of a special defense orientated, but I did put some defense EVs, and I do take it pretty well. With Leftovers Recovery, it doesn't really do much. So he withdraws knowing that he can't really take me out because I do have Recover, and he has faced a Scattering before, and I know I'm going to go for Scald. I don't want to overprotect, even though the only thing I can hit is with Scald, because the other move I have is Ice Beam or Toxic. I do go for Scald. I was banking for a burn right there. I just wanted to burn it, but no. He takes that Scald pretty well, and well, I actually stay in because I know he was going to Wisp, and I didn't want anything else to take the Wisp, so I just go ahead and go for the Scald and banking for a burn, and honestly, yeah, I do get the burn, but as you will see later on, it really didn't matter with that burn because he is the Resto Chesto set. I do get my Leftovers, but I am taking more burn damage than Leftovers Recovery. So I really have to rely on my Recover at this point. Knowing that he was probably gonna Volt Switch or just attack me, I just go into my Zapdos because I know he can take it pretty well, but he does go for the rest. And that's when I really did discover that he is a Resto Chesto, because I have seen Rotoms that are Assault Vested. I don't know what to say about that. I don't know if it's just weird, but it works. It worked on me. So he gets his Chesto Bear active. I go for the Discharge. I want to paralyze this thing, but that Discharge actually does pretty good because I'm actually Impish Nature, and I don't have I'm Impish Nature, so minus the special attack, and I did actually pretty good damage. So I'm thinking this is more of a defensive Roto. So he does go for the Wisps, and he burns me, and he goes back into his T-Tar. I actually went for Toxic, predicting him to go into Garchomp, because I thought he was going to predict me to go for the Discharge, and I just wanted to Toxic something. But he does go into T-Tar, which I find it more better to get Toxic than the Garchomp, because that means it will wear down more easily, because right now Tyranitar is something that threats me, because I really can't take it out without using my Azumarill. If I go for a Azumarill, I can take it out with a Play Rough, but if my Azumarill gets taken down, I don't think I can win, even though I do have my what's it called, the Heatran. But it's special retaining and only Earth Viral, but it can take the Sandstorm. But I do switch out, predicting the Rock Slide or Stone Edge, and go into my Gastrodon because I am Part Ground. He does go for the Rock Slide. I take that really well because I do resist it, and well, after the Leftovers Recovery, that basically takes care of the Rock Slide damage, but the Burn will wear me down, and his Toxic is wearing him down. So right here, I'm just gonna go for the Scald. I do not want to predict anything else. I do not want to go for the Toxic. And he actually sets up his late game rocks right now, even though we're 5 minutes into the game. He decides to set up his rocks. I'm like, okay, I just recovered, because I thought if he went for a crunch, it might have done a lot more. Maybe if he critted, would have taken me out. But I do go for the recover, and I do recover all my HP. And yeah, the poison still is weakening him down, as the burn is for me, but he decided to withdraw because I guess he did not want to take a Scald, because I don't know. Honestly, I would have done the same thing. He goes to guard jump. I don't know why he went for guard jump. I would have honestly went for something else, because if this Scald actually burned him, it would have basically crippled the guard jump. But I actually do get hacked, but it is a crit, and yeah. I don't know why he went to guard jump, because I honestly could live an attack from a guard jump. If he went for outrage, I would have lived. So right here I'm just going for Ice Beam, because honestly I didn't think anything else would come in. But he does go Lucario predicting Ice Beam, and I actually predicted right. But as you can see here, yeah, I do get for the Freeze Axe, which is kind of unlucky. But I don't know. It's just because, as we kind of learn right now, it kind of becomes a Mega Lucario after the burn damage. He does reveal that it is a Mega Lucario. But no, actually no, he switches out first. Never mind, I'm stupid. I go for a Scald here, because I don't know if Scald would actually thaw him out, because it is Scald, and it, you know, kind of makes sense. But who knows? I went for Scald, and it goes a Tyranitar. I don't know. I think he still had his Rotom. He should have just gone to that. Go for the Scald. It actually does like pretty good damage. After leftovers, still won't bring him to half, but he does has Toxic, so we'll bring him down more. And then both our lefties recover. We both take damage from our status, which is his poison and mine is his burn. So right here, I'm just gonna continue scalding him while he continuously just crunches me. I guess I could have let my Gastrodon survive if I went for a recovery this turn. Actually no, because no. Looking at that damage, actually, because he does kill me this turn because of the burn damage. Yeah, I should have gone to recover for that first turn if I wanted to, but I don't know. I didn't see a point of letting my Gastrodon survive since I did have my Zapdos, but honestly, after the end of the match, I figured I think I could have let my Gastrodon survive a little bit more. So yeah, this crunch takes me out, and well, even with lefties recovery, his poison will take him down, because it is after a couple turns that he was in, so poison will take him out. So it is a double down. So right here, I went to my Staraptor. He goes into his guard jump. I think by now, going to his guard jump, I think it was Scarf actually, because I go into my Scarf thing, and we both take Stealth Rocks. I actually here go for the Double Edge, because if I went for Brave Bird, I thought he was gonna actually go into his Rotom, so I'm guessing he did it. So I just went for the neutral move, which is Double Edge. Yeah, right here he goes into Lucario. It just frozen, well, I didn't want to risk it. Well, actually, there was nothing to risk, so I just went to Zapdos, because even somehow he thought out Zapdos could take the hit, because it is a defensive wall. So I can kind of pressure stall him. And right here he does Mega Evolve, because right here with the animation, because it still moved even though it was frozen, I thought he thawed out, but I still saw it was frozen, so it's kind of weird. Because I don't know, maybe the animation could have still stayed frozen. Just actually, that would actually look pretty weird. So he Mega Evolves, revealing that he's Mega Lucario. I take my burn damage. Right here, he actually thaws out, and he goes for Extreme Speed. Honestly, he should have just probably gone for Cross Combat, because even though it's not very effective, it would have done more because of adaptability. But here I go for a Discharge, and I do crit him, which is like, oh, you know, kind of critted him. But honestly, I don't think it mattered, because I do still have my Azumarill in the back with Aqua Jet, so it was nothing really to think about. And here he goes into his Talonflame. He takes his Stealth Rock damage, and I just let in my Zapdos die. Even if I do switch back in, it was Stealth Rocks, so Brave Bird takes me out. Here I learned, even though I kind of knew back in my head, Heat Ran is a Talonflame wall because it resists both its moves. And yeah, so I do go into my Heat Ran. Even though I still know his Rotom's in the back, I actually go for Fire Blast here. He does switch into his Rotom, takes in Stealth Rock damage. Wait, oh no, I went for Sub. Whoa, 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 wow. I must have not known. Even though I had this battle yesterday, I really don't remember it much. To go for Sub, I go for Fire Blast. That actually does pretty good damage because it is a defensive one. It's more defensively orientated than special defensive, so I would have known. So I go for the Fire Blast as much. He goes for Volt Switch. I'm guessing does they want to bank on the freaking Hydro Pump miss? I don't know. But he goes back into Talonflame with Stealth Rock damage. It's gonna take him out. He goes into his Scizor. Honestly, I think he actually knew he just lost the game, because even if he went back into his Rotom, I would have still won because the Fire Blast actually did much damage. So yeah, he doesn't go for Bullet Punch. He just decides not to go. He probably has superpower. So I go for Fire Blast. Immediately takes out the Scizor, and right here with Rotom that much low HP, I go for Fire Blast. So that is the game. Good game, Daniel. You're getting actually much better. After each battle we have, you're getting much better. So yeah, guys, comment, rate, subscribe for future content, and see y'all next time in the next video. Bye.